A moment that seemed harmless, but just seconds later, everything suddenly turned chaotic. When the person moved too close, the horse reacted violently. Powerful kicks and sudden head thrusts made the situation dangerous in an instant. What made the horse so angry? Let's see what happened next. A moment that seemed like an ordinary horse riding practice, until the four-legged buddy suddenly decided to start a chase. The horse charged forward like an arrow, while the people in the arena ran as fast as they could. Is this training or a survival sprint? Who do you think was more scared? Perhaps the one who needed to stay calm at that moment wasn't the brown horse, but the man sitting on its back. Fortunately, after that chaotic moment, it seems no one was hurt. A moment that seemed adorable, as a father lifted his young son closer to the fence to look at a horse. But in an instant, the horse suddenly reached over and attacked, turning everything chaotic. The father rushed in panic to save his child. Fortunately, the boy was taken to the hospital and only suffered minor injuries. But that terrifying moment will likely remain an unforgettable memory for the whole family. The horse runs circles around the arena like it's competing in an unexpected marathon. After a while, it suddenly lies down, making everyone think it has finally calmed down. But no, the moment the trainer steps closer, the horse springs up like a coil, throwing him off and dragging him a few steps. This moment shows sometimes a horse's calm is just half-time. A sightseeing tour that seemed perfectly calm until a car horn suddenly blared. The two horses instantly panicked, dragging the carriage forward like a runaway train with no brakes. The tourists barely understood what was happening before jumping off in panic. The peaceful tour suddenly turned into a wild adventure. The riding lesson was going smoothly as the students calmly guided their horses around the arena. But a sudden noise startled one horse. The rider was immediately thrown to the ground, and the rest of the horses panicked and scattered across the field. In just a few seconds, the peaceful lesson turned into a race no one signed up for. The trainer probably thought today would be just a light training session with his horse, but the horse had other plans. Within seconds, it began to lose control. In that critical moment, another man rushed in to save the trainer. Sometimes when the student loses its temper, the teacher can't run fast enough. The woman was simply doing her usual job, leading a horse out of the stable. Everything seemed perfectly normal, until two horses suddenly started chasing each other down the aisle. Just as she stood right in the middle of the chaos, the white horse abruptly turned and delivered a lightning-fast kick. Fortunately, it only grazed past her, and perhaps standing between two horses having an argument isn't the best idea. The man was just trying to walk past quickly, but the horse behind him clearly didn't know that. In a split second of surprise, the horse kicked, sending the man straight to the ground as everyone looked on in shock. After this, he'll probably warn a horse before walking past it. Buzzing with excitement when everything suddenly switched to chaos mode. In seconds, the horse launched a powerful buck, sending the cowboy flying off the saddle and crashing into the sand. But the trouble didn't stop there. The horse kept running, dragging him a few meters as the crowd gasped. Just when the tension peaked, another cowboy rode in to intervene. In rodeo, sometimes you don't just need courage, you need teammates as fast as an action movie. Never try to take food back once a horse has decided it wants it. And that kick was enough to give the elderly woman a sudden wake-up call. Everything started normally as horse number 13 was led into the arena like a star about to make its debut. But just seconds later, the star decided to change the script. A sudden pull on the lead rope knocked the handler off balance and sent him flat onto the ground, while the horse panicked and bolted, turning the scene into chaos. It just goes to show, when working with animals several times your size, sometimes you're the one being taken for a walk. These horses seemed to decide that if they couldn't meet the visitors face to face, they would at least leave them a little saliva on the window like a special souvenir from this unforgettable vacation. Both the driver and the two horses seemed convinced that this was their lane, so they ended up deciding to test a collision to see who was tougher. The result was pretty clear. The car stopped dead while the two horses calmly continued their race. And sometimes the horse isn't always the winner in every confrontation, because if it runs into a crocodile, the thing that might end up crumpled like that car could be the horse's legs. Sometimes on roads that pass through wildlife reserves, you're not the one who decides the right of way. While the driver is still figuring out how to move forward, a massive elephant steps out and brings everything to a halt in an instant. Because here, the rule is simple. If the elephant wants to go, you'd better give way. It seems this safari tour suddenly turned into drive-through service for some very special guests. The moment the window rolled down, a few zebras immediately stuck their heads inside as if checking the menu. Meanwhile, the two tourists could only lean back half startled, half laughing at this overly enthusiastic food request. It's truly dangerous that they would come up with the bold idea of letting a child get so close to a giant lion. In this situation, it's unclear whether the camel was truly afraid of those guys or simply startled by their sudden reaction. Either way, that unexpected welcome was enough to make it change its mind and abandon the plan of walking into the shop. The morning dog walk seemed pretty chill until a giant elk appeared in the yard. Just seconds later, it charged forward as if chasing away seen uninvited guests. The two people ran for their lives while the camera captured the whole tense yet slightly hilarious chase. A peaceful afternoon in the horse stable until a giant bull elk walked up like it was looking for a challenge. It lowered its head and scraped the ground in provocation. The horse in the pen refused to back down, standing face to face in tense silence. Spectators held their breath as the two fighters seemed to argue over who really owned the arena. The safari trip was supposed to be just about watching zebras from a distance, but this zebra walked right up to the car, pressing its nose against the window like it was inspecting the passengers. Everyone inside held their breath. It seems today, the tourists were the ones being observed. A zebra suddenly escaped from a zoo in South Korea and started a city tour through a residential neighborhood. People looked out their windows thinking they were dreaming when they saw a zebra strolling down the street. Meanwhile, the zebra calmly explored every alley as if it had wandered into a reverse safari. A not-so-friendly greeting as the monkey tried to climb onto the car, curiously searching for anything inside this metal object that moves. Meanwhile, the people in the car had no choice but to sit still and wait until the uninvited guest decided to leave on its own.
That's what I was just thinking.
Anyone who thinks kangaroos only hop peacefully across the grass has probably never stood too close to one. Sometimes they behave like professional boxers, standing upright, raising their gloves, and ready to deliver a powerful kick. For a kangaroo, meeting a stranger isn't always about saying hello. Sometimes it's the opening round of an unexpected sparring match. The battle of wits between monkeys and tourists seems to never really end. In tourist spots where monkeys are common, they've become very used to the presence of humans and sometimes even see visitors as walking storage units. So if you visit places like this, it's best not to carry bags or keep valuable items inside them. Because with these clever little thieves, once something is taken, calling the police would probably be completely pointless. A peaceful grocery store suddenly turned into an arena when two stray cows charged straight inside. Shelves crashed down, toilet paper flew everywhere, and the shop owner could only run away in panic. In just a few seconds, everything turned into a complete mess. But the biggest question now is, who will be responsible for compensating the poor shop owner for the damage? On a sunny beach in Mexico, a woman tried to take back her bag from a bull that was stealing it. People around her kept shouting warnings, but instead of backing away, she moved closer. And just like that, a relaxing beach vacation suddenly turned into a bullfight right on the sand. The reckless man thought that feeding a bear in the middle of the road was a way to show love for wildlife. But when the bear suddenly attacked, he immediately panicked and climbed onto the roof of his car to take cover. One wrong move could turn this moment into a disaster. When the distance between a human and a predator is only a few steps, who is really in control of the situation? What seemed like a visit to Monkey Island, filled with cute moments, suddenly changed when an uninvited guest jumped straight onto the girl's shoulder. Within seconds, the monkey clung tightly to her neck and even tried a few bites, as if checking whether she might be food. The girl could only freeze in place, afraid to make any sudden movements in case the situation got worse. Clearly, monkeys aren't always as adorable as we might think. If you were in that situation, would you stay calm and stand still, or run away immediately? The tourists thought they were just going on a safari to watch lions, but instead they were welcomed with a hug by a massive lion. It climbed straight onto the vehicle and rubbed its head against it like a giant house cat. But everyone soon realized, as fun as it was, they eventually had to leave the vehicle and give way to the king of the savannah. 5 a.m., the hotel suddenly welcomed a VIP guest who hadn't made a reservation, a wild lion. It calmly walked through the gate as if it were checking in. Luckily for the gate guard, he unintentionally missed this very special pouncing encounter. Sometimes missing a meeting like this is actually a stroke of luck. Animals, no matter how familiar they may seem, still have their own wild instincts. Just one small action can make everything spiral out of control. Who do you think was at fault in this situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow the channel for more unbelievable moments from the animal world.